Everyone is very bullish right now, but could we see in the shorter term time frame a correction? That is going to be the topic of today's video. We are going to have a look at the Bitcoin charts. We are going to have a look at altcoins, Litecoin, and some other charts I'm going to share with you from World Portal, which will show exactly what is going to happen with the price action of Bitcoin and which levels to watch in the shorter term time frame. And we always start with zooming out on the Bitcoin price action. And guys, just from a zoomed out perspective, things are looking extremely bullish and everything is still set in place. We are on the last phase of this bull market. Next month will be crazy. Nothing has changed for that. However, in the shorter term time frame, so right now we are looking at this macro chart right here. We actually broke the resistance, massive resistance. I'm expecting Bitcoin to really accelerate in this rally that we are seeing. And it doesn't really matter whether Bitcoin goes up or goes down. I think altcoins will go up because we are so late in the cycle. In terms of timing, this is going to be the moment for altcoins as well. And we can already see that when we look at the altcoin season, which I will talk about more later in this video. But from a macro perspective, I want to be very clear. Nothing has changed. Everything is looking extremely bullish. But if we zoom in on the Bitcoin price action, we zoom a little bit in, we can see that it has some difficulties in the shorter term time frame to break the resistance of 120 roughly US dollars. And looking at the momentum indicators, we do see the momentum indicators making some divergences. So the price is trying to tap higher and the momentum indicator is going a little bit lower. So if we're going to go through different data points that I'm going to go with you right now, it looks like that in the shorter term time frame we could see a correction in Bitcoin. And why is that? Well, if we go to worldportal.com, we look at the pro charts, we have some selling pressure, and in the bull market it's not necessarily that bad, because once the price really is rallying, right now we are on price discovery, you can actually slightly forget about selling pressure, but it's still a good indication to see a little bit like what type of pressure is on top of the price at these regions. And there is quite a bit of pressure right now. So this is just one of the, I would never like solely in this circumstances, like if we would be in a bear market territory and you would see this data profile, you want to be out, you want to be shorting. But we are right now in the bull market, so you want to put these indicators into perspective and into the right context. So this is showing that there is something pushing on Bitcoin, and we can see that in the price as well, because the price just don't manage to break above 20k US dollars. Then when we go to this one, and this is the cycle counter on worldportal.com. Very interesting, because we are on the 60-day cycle on day 48, which means that we are very late in the 60-day cycle. And most of the time, the later we are on the 60-day cycle, the more momentum that is actually fading away, going into that next 60-day cycle low. And then we can start a new cycle, which often is with a very bullish start. So this is another indicator that shows like, hey, maybe in the next coming week or 1.5 weeks, we might see the price coming down a little bit into that 60-day cycle low. Again, there's not a confirmation, no guarantee. However, this does look like we could be seeing something like that. 4-year cycle, we are getting closer to the red period, which means that we are getting closer to the potential topping period of the 4-year cycle. We are not there yet right now, but we are getting close. This is something you want to be watching, because during this red period, when this yellow comes into this red period, during that red period, you want to be very mindful of extreme euphoric moments, because during these extreme euphoric moments, there could potentially be a top forming, a big top in the whole crypto world. So when this yellow is in the red, you want to be watching the sentiment basically. Then when we have a look at liquidation heat maps, guys, we can also see that we have some liquidity below us at 115,000 US dollars. Therefore, again, it would make sense for the price to come down. This is another indicator in the basket of short-term potential price correction. Alt season is halfway through, a little bit, yeah, it's actually exactly halfway through. We want to see this getting a little bit higher, of course. So with this liquidation heat maps like that, with going into the 60-day cycle low, going to have some selling pressure, what happens with Bitcoin? What could happen? Well, if I'm looking at these levels and I'm just looking right here at this white line, maybe we can see a dip into that white line and to test this, and it is going to happen, I believe, very fast and brief, because we are in such a strong market. So that we tap into like 115 or like in this green box somewhere, to retest that former resistance as support. So maybe do something like just maybe come a little bit down, tack, and just like don't spend too much time in there. I think because of this phase in the bull cycle, I can show you a little bit how that looked in the different bull cycles. But if we go to this bull market right here, you can see that every time we dip, it's just very shortly lived. We come down, pap, we get bought up, and we continue to rally higher. I'm expecting similar price behavior right here, because we are in that phase where the euphoria will start to accelerate, and there will be more attention. There is already a lot of attention, and a lot of retail is coming back to the markets right now as well. We can see that in Google searches. So all in all, guys, everything is following the plan, but in the short term time frame, we might get that wick coming down into the 60-day cycle low. So be careful. Basically, this is just one. Be careful if you are leverage trading, or if you are looking for new trades. Maybe you want to look for a trade that is around the timing band of the 60-day cycle low. There's an article over on willportal.com which will explain exactly how you can spot these 60-day cycle lows, but also how you can confirm whether we've already seen a 60-day cycle low happened and occurred. So I would definitely urge everyone to read this article. It's not that long. Then guys, we go to Litecoin, and like I said, I'm happy I gave it the benefit of the doubt, because this chart is looking very amazing, and this is Litecoin against XRP. And the reason why I'm saying Litecoin against XRP is because that I moved most of my XRP holdings when it rallied back in the end of 2024, somewhere like that. I put a lot of those profits into Litecoin because the Litecoin XRP chart was just looking amazing. And with that recent breakdown, I was a little bit scared, but I thought, okay, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. But so far it is getting bought up. And I'm expecting this one to go up. So that means that the valuation of Litecoin will go up against valuation of XRP. Again, there's not a confirmation, or there's not a guarantee, but this is how I determine where I want to put my own liquidity in the markets. So I want to look at these charts. So for example, if I'm bullish on Ethereum, for example, then I will have to look at some other charts against Ethereum, because if some charts against Ethereum actually look better, then it would make sense that these coins will outperform Ethereum. So I would like Ethereum, but then these coins would outperform Ethereum. I rather park a little bit or more into these other coins that are looking or setting up like outperforming Ethereum. And I believe, guys, that Litecoin, and I don't know what the narrative is going to be, because this explosive move will probably come along with a narrative. There is not such a big move in crypto happening that will not have its own story. We already know, we heard the stories about Trump buying Litecoin through his company, something like that. There was a rumor going around, or a news article about that. Maybe it's going to be about Dino tokens, so the tokens that are from a very early age. Litecoin has, of course, a very big foot in the ground. You have to realize that as well. It's actually, I think it's the second cryptocurrency that has been created. It is the silver to Bitcoin. And the thing with Litecoin is also for institutional investors is it has a very long history because it's such an old token. So it's really seen as the silver to Bitcoin. So for many people, it's not even possible to own one Bitcoin anymore because Bitcoin is just growing. And many people don't want to look at Bitcoin anymore because Bitcoin is just so expensive. So a lot of them, I believe, will look for things like Litecoin. And this is also seen in the institutional players, because Grayscale is, for example, as well a very big holder of Litecoin tokens. But yeah, this is just speculation in the sense of like, what is the narrative? What could it be? I don't really care too much about it. Like I say in my previous videos as well, I don't want to think too much about what the speculation could be, although it's also nice to think about it, right? Like, oh, maybe the Dino tokens are getting a comeback. I personally believe that but I do believe that, guys, because of the price behavior that I'm seeing in the charts, and that's my main, I want to make that clear, that's my main reason why I'm moving money around, or why I did that in the past, right? I moved that money around because of opportunities in terms of risk to reward ratios in these charts. So this chart, guys, from a technical standpoint, we could be seeing something like a falling wedge formation, breakdown, sideways move, break back in the falling wedge, boom, break out. These moves happen in a very short amount of time. They are very explosive, and that's why I say they are coming along with a narrative, although we don't know that narrative right now. But it looks pretty good, and you can see it already right here. Look at the previous times Litecoin took off. It's kind of like XRP. And this is also kind of crazy, guys, because in 2017, and this is what I also love about these timing period that we are right now in, we have seen XRP taking off as one of the first altcoins in 2017, and one of the second altcoins that afterwards took off after XRP was Litecoin. So I'm hoping we are going to see like a replication of 2017, because that bull market was insane. It was completely crazy. It was the craziest bull market that I experienced, because it was crazier than 2021. That's definitely, it was a very crazy time, guys. And I was living back then in Indonesia, and it was like everyone, there was not one person that was not busy with crypto. It was literally on everybody's radar, and that is also the moment that we're often seeing that top, and we are not seeing that right now. So people talk about crypto, it's getting a bit back into the scene, but it's not in this level of euphoria yet, where your parents are going to call you and ask you like, hey, did you heard about this token? Or your friends talking about it, or maybe you walk in the street and you catch like someone's conversation talking about crypto. That's what I'm talking about. So we're not seeing that crazy environment right now, but that environment you want to be very careful of, because if we are in that environment, when we are in that timing band of that 4-year cycle high, so where we can see in the Bitcoin cycles in that red thing right here, then you want to be very careful. Okay, guys, and quick mention, guys, from Apex Omni, if you are still looking for a decentralized exchange, look no further, go to Apex Omni. This is a decentralized exchange that is built by Bybit, so you basically have the same feel, look, and experience as an exchange that Bybit is basically offering. Recently, they actually launched prediction markets. So I don't know if you guys familiar with Polymarket, but Polymarket is basically a exchange where you can bet on certain things. So for example, the Federal Reserve interest rates no change in July. You can actually bet on that. So this is like something, for example, Bitcoin hits 130K in July. So it's kind of like options. It's kind of like an options type of service that they are using. They just launched this, and yeah, if you are interested in trading Bitcoin, and of course this is for experienced traders, but check out Apex Omni. Apex Omni is definitely, I personally believe, the best decentralized exchange out there. You can just connect your MetaMask wallet or connect any other third-party wallet, and you can start trading on this decentralized exchange. It is self-custody, so they do not own your funds. You're always in control of your own funds. And yeah, I think many more people should actually use a decentralized exchange, but I also believe that many more people are going to use a decentralized exchange because of this regulatory environment. These decentralized exchanges do not have these problems. You don't need any KYC. And guys, if you join with the affiliate link down below, you will get a 5% discount on your fees. The fees of Apex Omni are already slightly lower than that of Bybit, and if you have the 5% discount with the affiliate link down below, they will bring that fees even down, so you will save money. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in that, check that out. Also, for the ones that like to watch my second YouTube channel, today I'm going to post another video over on my second YouTube channel. See you over there. Guys, thank you so much. Wish you a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.